Good afternoon, good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty 360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. I want to welcome you back to another edition of Loyalty Live. In this series, we talk to the leaders in customer channel and brand loyalty about the technology trends and best practices that impact a brand's ability to drive unique experiences, enhance engagement, but most importantly, to drive customer loyalty. In the months of June and July, we embarked on a mini series of Loyalty Live sessions looking at the evolving customer experience space and how brands can meet and exceed these changing consumer expectations to achieve a more loyal brand advocate group and how they're doing that. So looking forward to this discussion today. We have Natasha Janic, who's the product marketing manager at Salesforce. How are you, Natasha?
Hi, Mark. Doing well. Really excited to be here today.
Great. Looking forward to the discussion as always. It's been a little while since we've spoken with you, but I'm sure it's going to be a very helpful conversation for those on the brand side about some of the things that you're seeing. So looking forward to it. First off, we'd love to get to know the people we're speaking with on a little deeper personal level. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and your role at the company and maybe even a fun fact about you? Do you like parasailing? Do you like jumping out of planes? Are you an extreme skier? Any passion that you may have?
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about my background. I've essentially worked as a marketer in the loyalty technology space my entire career, across programs from, small mom and pop shops up to, large enterprise brands. And at Salesforce, I lead product marketing for our new loyalty management products that we launched earlier this year. Fun fact about me, I am a huge hockey fan, being from Chicago, avid Blackhawks fan. Very excited to hopefully rebuild in the next couple of years and see our way to the playoffs sometime again soon. But yeah, love heading to the United Center. Very excited it's reopened.
That's good.
To the fans and looking forward to the next season.
I was looking around. I'm a huge Avalanche fan myself. I have nothing back there. I'm like, that's not like me. So in the basement, sure. Anyway, so hopefully your team when you rebuild doesn't choke like the Avalanche did this year, but that's a whole other story.
I mean, we didn't even make the playoffs this year, so the only way to go from here is up, hopefully.
Yeah, it's good. I've actually seen a game at United Center, so it's a great place. I would love to see more. So hopefully maybe they play next year. We'll come up and watch the Avalanche kick around the Blackhawks a little bit. It's always good.
We'll see about that.
From your perspective as a leader in the industry, having been in the industry for a long time, customer loyalty, as you said, from small mom and pops to kind of larger enterprise applications, how have you seen customer experience evolve and change, over the last few years?
Yeah, I think the customer experience has been evolving for quite some time now. Expectations around omni-channel and personalization are really nothing new. But I think what the last year did was really accelerate efforts to improve the customer experience. So as we shifted completely to digital, it became easier than ever to interact with a customer. But it also became easier than ever for customers to try new brands. So This is requiring those brands to really differentiate themselves now. And a lot of that is going to have to come from improving the customer experience across every touch point.
Absolutely. One of the things that we see on the brand side is there's sometimes challenges internally to understanding how important customer experience is, how important customer loyalty is. And there can be a pretty kind of wide dichotomy, as you know. How does Salesforce communicate and demonstrate to your customers the importance of their customers, right? To make sure that they are focusing on delivering the best experiences, exceptional customer experiences that help enhance customer loyalty.
Yeah. So I think to us, the customer experience is everything, right? Across marketing, sales, service, commerce, loyalty, and that's applicable to every industry. So our goal is to really empower our customers with the tools they need to better engage their customers and optimize how they run their business. So the customer experience isn't a single point in time, but it's a collection of interactions that take place with any department. So we really want to focus on giving businesses the tools they need to make sure that each of those interactions is having a positive impact on the entire customer experience.
Absolutely, absolutely right. And it's a very unique perspective to have. Um, Technology is a big challenge, but there is also a huge opportunity as well because brands have to utilize technology to automate their personalized, the real-time messaging, the offers, being in the right channel that the customer wants them to be in. How do you help brands, or how do you advise brands to leverage technology to make sure that they're in the right channel to deliver these memorable experiences? How are you helping your customers do that?
Yeah. So I think first and foremost, we all need to give ourselves a little bit of grace, right? Coming out of a once in a lifetime pandemic, we really don't know how much things are going to go back to normal and how many changes from the last 18 months are really here to stay. So, because none of us have a crystal ball, I think what we're really trying to help our customers do is be able to react and respond to some of the changes in consumer demands with agility, right? And that requires technology that allows you the flexibility to really test, learn, iterate on whatever it is that you're doing, whether that is improving the service experience or optimizing your loyalty program or increasing the efficacy of your marketing campaigns. It's all about capturing that customer data in real time, being able to assess it and make changes quickly. I think that that's going to be the underpinning of, brand success over the next year or two as we continue to learn more about what's going to become the permanent shift in consumer behavior.
Absolutely right. I think that's a very salient point. Is brands are, they shifted everything to the digital group, and now they're switching more and more to kind of the in person. And how do you balance that, right? The kind of the uncertainty of behavior. A lot of brands, even grocery, we see that our members that the trips are coming back, right? They're going down a little bit in kind of the amount of the basket size, but they're going back because they do want that in-person experience. But then they still have a group that are just continuing to buy online, pick up in store. So it'll be very interesting to see how those how it evolves and how what sticks and what doesn't.
Yeah. And I think similar to kind of the workplace, right? It used to be common that you go into the office 5 days a week. You're there from, 8 to 5 or whatever time. But I think we've learned that giving employees flexibility in how they interact is, provides just as much output as, coming into the office. And I think the same thing applies to our learnings with consumer behavior. Buying online, pick up in store. Some consumers are like, great, I want to go back to the grocery store. Others are thinking, this delivery service is awesome. I'm going to continue to get my groceries delivered. And, personally, I was someone who loved the feeling of the holidays, and I would do all my Christmas shopping in person. And, last year that wasn't possible. Chicago was not open at the time. So, I did all of my shopping online, and frankly, it didn't take away from the joy of gift giving, right? So I think this year I'm probably going to be a hybrid of both of those, but I'm certainly not going back to the way I did things before.
Absolutely. When you look at barriers to participation for marketers, it's a big challenge, right? Creating the best program, creating it in a manner that's simple and easy to understand for both the brand and the consumer, but sometimes leads to barriers of entry, right? Barriers to participation within their customer experience, customer loyalty programs. How do you help brands reduce those barriers to get a more active kind of audience?
Yeah, I think the first is simplify, make it easy from the sign up process to interacting to redeeming, just make it seamless. Don't have 15 fields for a customer to fill out to join your loyalty program.
Yeah.
Capture their name and email, and then maybe later on offer them bonus points for giving you more information about them, linking their social handles, giving you their birthday, things like that. And then on top of that, you want to give customers a lot of different ways in which they can interact with your brand and your program. So it shouldn't really be about, earning rewards to pick, a standard pool of items or services. It should really span the whole customer experience and provide customers with options. Maybe you have a customer who's, thrilled to write product reviews and share your products on their social media pages. Make sure you're rewarding that type of advocacy. Other customers might be really responsive to things like weekly promotions or gamification. Think about how you can touch the entire customer experience with loyalty across marketing, sales, and service.
Okay, absolutely. When you look at the channel piece that you just spoke of, being in the right channel at the right time, the right cadence, and right communication, obviously very important, and we hear a lot about that. How do brands effectively execute on that? So if you have customers that want to involve, can engage with the brand in one or two channels, it's very important to be able to execute on that to help that retention and deepen that loyalty. How should a brand do that from a best practices perspective?
Yeah. So I think first, think about the customer experience holistically. Every brand has their separate marketing, service, operations functions, but consumers are going to see you as one business. So make sure that the experience you provide is consistent across those interactions and that they help to inform one another. For example, you might want to suppress marketing emails to a customer who just gave you a really low CSAT score after a customer service call, and instead have some type of personalized follow-up from someone in your service department. In addition to that, I think, just always be willing to go back to the drawing board. Consumer expectations are going to continue to evolve, and so will your CX strategy. So if something isn't working, try something else. Make sure that you're collecting actionable analytics, and if you can, predictive analytics that help you really start to get ahead of any potential bumps in the road.
Okay, good point. When you look at the need for agility, you spoke about that a little bit earlier. Very important for brands to be able to have the right technology that can enable them, but also the right partners that can help them be agile, because they're in charge of keeping up their loyalty program or customer experience program, and then worrying about what stores are going to be open and cleaning the standards. When you look at the need for agility, in having the right technology partners, how important is that, and how do brands get that right?
Yeah, so I think the digital acceleration that we've seen over the last 18 months probably isn't going to slow down. And we've essentially blown the door wide open for consumers to try new brands and new ways of interacting. Like we've talked about, buy online, pick up in store, curbside pickup, things like that. So being able to recognize shifts in behavior patterns and acting quickly is going to be critical. Things like predictive analytics are going to greatly help brands to understand things like whether a customer is at risk to disengage and being able to get out ahead of that. And it's going to be important to show customers that you are listening and responding to the changes in their preferences and needs. Yeah. And this really requires to have technology partners who give you the opportunity to be nimble and agile. If something's not working across your marketing campaigns, you can't wait 2 weeks to get the right analytics to come to that conclusion. If there are promotions within your loyalty program that are going to become more of a liability than a revenue driver, you need to know that ideally before launching it, but recognizing that and having the flexibility to do something about it quickly is what is going to allow brands to thrive.
Absolutely. Great. Well, Natasha, it was great speaking with you. It's always a pleasure hearing about what you're doing at Salesforce, and you have a unique perspective. And we've known each other for a while, knowing your background on smaller companies, out of a very large company, you have a kind of a breadth of knowledge. I think it's very important for brands to hear about, and great talking to you today for sure.
Yeah, it's been great catching up, Mark, and thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure to join us on July 13th for Luke Smith from Basement. And thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful day.